going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Circle of Knowledge podcast. This is crazy. I have had the most amazing day. So I just wanted to give you guys an update. This is season 5. We took a little break there, made some transitions, and had a really, really great pivot and shift in our world and our business. And I just wanted to take a few minutes today to introduce you to season 5 of our Circle of Knowledge podcast. And I want to talk about the changes that we've made, the things that we've done to help you, the user, and the consumer of our content, to receive it more often, to be on a regular schedule. And I can't wait to pump you up about this season because we've got some really cool things coming up. We'll be revisiting and reviewing some of the podcast episodes we've had previously. And I'm just really, really pumped up about all that we've got going on here. So I wanted to take a moment. My name is Jon Kovach Jr. I'm the founder and chairman of the Champion Circle Networking Association. And this is just an honor. The Circle of Knowledge podcast started in the basement of Matt Fritchie here in our little podunk cow town of Heber City, Utah. And we went to his basement in his gun closet, his storage closet, where there was the least amount of noise. And me and Matt and his partner, we all gathered together around this tiny little blue snowball microphone. And we like took turns talking about books and articles and mentors and speakers. And we just dove in a little bit deeper than the regular surface knowledge from books and discussions. And we tried to get a little bit more applicable and to challenge one another to take action in our lives. Now, that was 3.5 years ago. It has evolved. We've got over 29,000. I keep rounding up. I just keep saying 30,000 because I'm so excited when we hit it. We have over 30,000 listeners worldwide who have downloaded our podcast, listened to our content, and have even given us reviews. We've got quite a few reviews. So let me give you a little bit of structure, and then I want to bring on a friend, and I want to introduce this individual, and then we'll just take a few minutes to talk about a few things about what's going on with Champion Circle, the Circle of Knowledge podcast, some of the developments, and then we'll jump right off. But I want to give super gratitude and thanks to the entire Champion Circle team. That includes our executive team as well as the what I call the CCT, our Champion Circle team. They have been amazing in helping me transition this idea into a reality and creating a networking association, an opportunity for people to gather themselves around other champions. And I love this sentence because I want people to gather themselves around other champions and then use the word not as an adjective, but as a phrase, or a verb, and say to champion themselves as the winners who they are. And that's been our destiny, our goal, our mission. And it's been something that we're really, really pumped up and excited about. So some of the changes that we've made that you're going to recognize in the Circle of Knowledge podcast, we switched platforms where we were used to going off of Zoom. We've committed full time to using StreamYard, where we are now able to do video content, to add these really crazy, awesome visuals, and utilize the intros and the outros to have commercial breaks. We are open for employment so that people can pay us money to run sponsors and a few things. I also want to share with you a few differences in the podcast. Whereas this used to be the podcast that was run and founded by the Amplified Minds organization, Amplified Minds has been absorbed and has been what we call combined and purchased through the Champion Circle network. And we have now combined those two brands to be under the realm of the flying stars, the flying rings you see in the top corner of your screen right now. And I'll add the logo to the left side here just so that y'all can see. The Champion Circle Networking Association is the proud founder and owner of the Circle of Knowledge podcast. And it is my baby, my passion project. It is something that we've been building because while I've got a lot of other projects going on in my world, we during COVID had to transition from in-person events to virtual and online. And I know some of us are kind of sick of those, especially me and the individual I'm about to bring on, because we're such people, and we love people so much that it's nearly it's starvation when we can't be in the proximity to physical distance with amazing human beings. And that energy is what we thrive off of. And so I'll bring that individual on in just a second. But to keep you guys holding on for a little bit more information, I just wanted to share as well that we have made a few changes as well in our processes. The Circle of Knowledge podcast continues to describe, to discuss, to challenge, and to dive deeper below the surface of surface level knowledge and get into the golden nuggets of the principles that lead to successes, with an emphasis on how to win and how to succeed in every area of your life. Not just business, not just entrepreneurship, not just sports, not just any of it. It's all encompassing. But we want you to know that success and winning isn't impossible, and it isn't hard either. It should just be simple. I'm not going to use the word easy, but it is simple. And I'm taking that from an Olympic friend who we've had on the show and that we will have on the show again later. And I want to just shout out huge thanks and gratitude to those who have supported the show, who have been on the show previously. And here's the open invitation. Season 5, baby. Let's go. We are actually inviting anyone who has been on the podcast before to come back on and talk about the journey between episode 1 and episode 2. The past to the present, and see where they're going. There's also an open invitation to anyone who has championed something in their life. Now, that's like the entire population of the world, but I want people to really tell their story. One of those stories that I would like to take the opportunity to share with is some of the people that we will be adding to the show. And we've already begun today. We recorded several episodes to highlight and feature some of these amazing people. Recently, I was on a TV show featured on Amazon Prime Video. And the show is called Speak Up. Speak Up, founded by this company right here, NPN Global. And Masoom is the executive director, and now one of the other directors and I guess those who run the show is my friend Dee Wong. And Dee is an incredible motivational speaker. She's a world-renowned entrepreneur, and she literally just told us a story on this show about how she met the Pope. And that was like a couple weeks ago. So this is an incredible opportunity, and I just held this up because I have been recently on the TV show season 3 of Speak Up, and over the next few weeks, we'll be interviewing 1 or 2 of the lineup from Speak Up, asking them about their experience and talking more about the things that they're learning and they're sharing from this lineup. Let me just share a few names. You've got Sherry James, Taylor Cole Longacre, Chanel Aramelli, Jennifer Blair, Clara Capano, Gary McDermott, Nick Lowry, who will be on the show as well, and you'll be able to hear from him. Nick Lowry is a NFL Chiefs Hall of Famer, Kansas City Chiefs, and known as Nick the Kick, one of the most accurate kickers in NFL history. Sorana Pascario, Meredith Allen, Tristan Helm, and myself were all on the show. And that was the beautiful lineup that we had. And I'm just, there's so many people that we're going to have on this season. So to kind of wrap that up, that was 5 minutes longer than I wanted to. I just wanted to share with you guys kind of what we're doing. We're sharing, we're opening up. I hope season 5 is the longest season. In fact, I hope season 5 is the season that never ends, because we've gone season after season going until we stopped interviewing. I want this to be the season that never ends. So join with me in season 5 and make this the season that never ends. Open invitation to all those individuals who were on the podcast to join us again on the podcast to talk about the present, to talk about the future, and to talk about what made the last transition or the last leg of life the amazing part of your next journey. Because we've all been suffering. We've all been shut up and closed our mouths and faces blocked from masks, and we've been told what we can and can't do. It's time to break out of what we can and cannot do and to share the lessons that we're learning and how we plan to proceed and move forward. So that's a new focus and a new energy that I want to add to the show, because those lessons, those nuggets of knowledge are going to help you. They're going to help you make decisions in your life that are going to change it for the rest. I want to bring on a friend, and I mentioned to you my gratitude for the executive team over at Champion Circle Networking Association, and we have recently brought on my great friend, an amazing individual and human being, and I'm going to go as far to say that this individual has actually been on the Circle of Knowledge podcast the most. She holds the record for having been on more episodes than anyone else on this entire show. And that is, without any further ado, the amazing, the award-winning, public speaking, internationally renowned, best-selling author, Robin Scott, everybody. What's going on, Robin?
Hi, oh my gosh, it's so fun to be here. The most times,
And
we must get along.
Go ahead.
That's all I can say.
Most times, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And it's so funny because we've done everything. We've highlighted your book from the book launch, bringing people together. We've talked about some other projects that you've been involved with, and now there's another project in your life. In fact, there's like 100 projects in your life, but there's some really cool projects in your life. And I wanted everyone to know that we've assembled an executive team to help run, organize, and assemble the best organization possible for the Champion Circle Networking Association. As it grows and as we grow personally with the curriculum created by myself and several others, we have focused on the development that comes from the foundations and principles and truths of that which create the best outcomes in our lives. And Robin has been an intricate part of that since day one, because when I first got my start as an accountability coach and partner, I was serving Robin. I can't say you were my client because I was working for a client and you were one of the individuals. But from the beginning, it became very clear that Robin and I were going to be friends for forever. And our energies were very, very similar. Our love for people and our joy to spread was something that just was so profound. And I'm excited to publicly announce that Robin Scott has joined our executive team at Champion Circle as our Chief Relationships Officer. And though she wears many hats and has many roles, we deemed her the princess and queen of relationships due to the fact that she is the most joyful person you will ever meet. In fact, her email is I'm not going to say it over the publicity here, but her email just makes you smile when you read it. You're like, oh, I'm giggling, this is awesome. And so I really appreciate you, and I publicly announced that, but we just wanted to welcome you back to the show for your 4th or 5th or 6th or 7th time. I don't know, but we're keeping it on, and it's a roll. But one last thing I want to mention, then I want to hear from Robin a little bit, because I just can't shut up. I'm on my 3rd coffee this morning, but I wanted to share that another thing that I wanted to add to the show, a piece to this, was that when you join the Champion Circle membership, we offer the opportunity for you to come on the show, not necessarily to promote you and your business. That has special rights, and we do something else for that. And if you are interested in doing that, just contact me. We'll talk about it and negotiate it. But the opportunity to share knowledge and growth, because when you publicize where you're headed, I have found that transforms your connection and desire to achieve that which you want most. And that's just, it's the next physical step of accountability that is oftentimes neglected when we create a dream board or a vision board, or we make verbal declarations to what we want and what we can do. So I wanted to just share that. Thank you. And with that being said, we're going to have, members of the executive team from Champion Circle, some of our board of advisors and board of mentors coming onto the show. We're going to have some of my personal friends and mentors coming onto the show. We're going to have the mentors of my executive team and the mentors of the mentors coming on the show. But this season should be the season that never ends, because this is the one where we continuously put out content. We commit to excellence, and we commit to sharing the knowledge that you all need, and that we all need to learn, grow, and apply. And so without any further ado, you guys, Robin Scott, ladies and gentlemen, she is amazing. She's here with us today. And Robin, I just want to ask you one thing. What are you grateful for today? What are you grateful for today?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I caught her off guard. She didn't know I was going to ask that. I thought we were going to talk about it. This is great. I want to hear this candid response. What are you grateful for today?
The only reason I hesitate is because I have so much. There is, in my life, so many amazing, spectacular things going on right now. Not only with the people that I am working with, but also just this overall renewed passion to help people, right? Like, we are all in this together. And in all the things that I'm doing right now, I am serving. I am serving the people. And I am so grateful that I have been put in a position where I am able to do that, because I've had some big changes. Not all of it was great. There was some that was quite hurtful and hard. Sorry, I don't like the word hard. Difficult. It was a challenge. And I have completely picked myself up and aligned with some of the most amazing people on earth. And I am so grateful for that. My family is healthy and together. I'm going to be a grandma in August. I'm so excited. So I'm grateful for my grandbaby, and that I didn't strangle my son during his younger years. Truthfully, I'm grateful for all of it. I mean, really, I don't know how to even put it in that, but I'm grateful for people. I'm grateful that COVID is over. Well, I mean, like, all the mandates, right? Like the pandemic, because I was starving for people. And I know we talked about this. We have a ton in common in that area, and we just love people. And it's time. It's time for us to get back out there, to connect more people and serve them more, so all of us can be growing and moving forward together.
Wow. Give it up, everybody, for Robin Scott. What a triumph. That is so cool. And what a valiant story. And we're just grateful that you're here. Honestly, it's amazing. We're all here. We're all going through the same steps. Some states are a little ahead of others, whether that's preemptive or, just sick and tired of being sick and tired. And whatever that means, our world is back and changing. And I think that there's a movement. I think there's a wave and an appreciation or a gratitude for where we are now. There seems to be a bigger presence in being present. And it's fascinating how being stuck in our homes can do that. But, there's some pros and cons to all of it. I mean, the pros and the cons and the negatives and the positives, but to all of it, I too am grateful that we are able to do so. And I just wanted to clarify to everybody else, Champion Circle is a networking association that meets in person only. We do have online trainings and master classes and stuff like that, but we follow a very strict curriculum that provides, 4 areas of life. And we run on 90-day sprints, studying books and focusing on the accountability factors that help one another achieve their goals. And amongst all of that, and amongst Robin's growth and success and transformation, is a tiny little piece of what we've been doing in Champion Circle, and the application from Think and Grow Rich to How to Win Friends and Influence People. We're transitioning into quarter 3 of the year. As soon as we get out of June, we'll be studying the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People from Stephen R. Covey, and then wrapping up the year with our last piece of curriculum. And I'm giving away all of our secrets right now, but essentially we're talking about the book Never Eat Alone. And those 3 areas of curriculum, really dive deep into areas of our lives that are valuable, important, and they actually are the foundations for personal, professional, and relationship development. And I'm a big believer in that. And I'm just grateful to watch your journey, to be a part of it, to be the crying shoulder, but the open, welcoming arms when needed. And you, the same for me, have been in many ways that person. I've been suffering from quite a bit of illnesses and crazy COVID-related circumstances over the last month and a half, which has, put me, my businesses, and my family at risk, and also, a lot of us are behind due to, one little illness or one little reaction to vaccinating and so forth. And so it's just wild where we're at. It's amazing that we're here, and I can't wait to take the next step forward. And I just love that. So thank you for sharing that. I want to transition for a second. because we asked you what you're grateful for. What are some of and we don't have to name specifics. We don't have to do any promotions right now. We'll get into that in the season. And I want to wrap this up in the next 5 minutes or so. But what are some of the amazing, exciting projects that we've got going? And we'll just kind of spitfire a couple off, and we'll leave the cliffhangers ended. But talk to me, Robin, about some of the ways that you're giving back. You're focusing on sharing and giving, which is actually increasing your joy and happiness and your fulfillment in life, but it's also serving many purposes and many organizations. So what are some of the things that you're currently working on, adding, and providing to people? And I'm thinking of like 3 or 4. So if you miss one, I'll add it. And if I miss one, you just tell me when I'm wrong. But let's shoot from the hip here and spitfire. What are some of those projects?
So I am so excited. I mean, in Champion Circle, we are doing so many things. I'll let you actually talk about some of those because it's your baby, but I am so glad I'm a part of it. But we have some amazing activities, events. There he goes. We're going to be playing so much together that I cannot wait for that to be coming more into it, really bringing more people into Champion Circle, and celebrate with them. You know, that's what we do, and we connect and we celebrate. And so also we have a book that we are writing on Think and Grow Rich, and every 2 months a new book will be coming out. We're co-authoring with amazing speakers, mentors, and huge giants in the field, and so that's really exciting. And then we are I have like a social sellers toolkit that I have been creating to really get out there and organically get lead generations that feel natural. And when you take them from a cold lead all the way to a closed sale, and you did it naturally and authentically, I think that that's how it's supposed to be. Because we change the world together, no one can do it alone. The camera's backwards. I keep getting messed up, but that's one that I'm so excited about. That's one of my babies. And hey, Jon, I guess I might need your help. What else am I doing? Wait, are you still there? Hi, maybe I'm by myself.
I'm just kidding. I didn't want to leave you alone. I tried to play a trick on you. Do you notice anything different in my background? I'm just I'm
like, no, that's the same poster.
Oh, I'll show it again later. Okay. Yeah, I'll see if the listeners and the watchers go. No, you brought up some great points, and there's a few other things that you've been working on, including a book collaboration on co-authorship, talking about the 13 steps to riches. You are helping associate, build, and disseminate the accountability program along with the relationship program and our social selling program in Champion Circle. But it's not just with Champion Circle, it's with a greater net of people who could use the knowledge that you've received and that you've learned on selling through social media or social connection. And man, I can't think of who better and who more perfect to teach and to provide that is absolutely amazing. You are also involved in some pretty cool masterminds, and I do not hesitate to mention the Habitude Warrior Mastermind as well as the Global Speakers Mastermind, who I'm currently in partnership with and work with the amazing Mr. Awesome Eric Swanson, who is the founder of Habitude Warrior, the Habitude Warrior Mastermind, and the Global Speakers Mastermind. I get to be his facilitator, and that was one of the pivots we had to make and did make really, really excitingly. during COVID when we could not meet in person. And that has become a huge network and an amazing opportunity to connect with and leverage and work with amazing people. And we've had Eric on the show a couple times, and we'll have him on again. And I know that Eric and I are in conversations about continuing to offer this platform, this conversation, and this podcast as an opportunity for people to come over and meet with us and share what they're learning and so forth. So I'm those are some of the other collaborations. There's a few things in mind that I had too, that you and I are a part of a writers group. and it is helping with the process of writing the chapters that we're contributing to our co-author series and volumes on 13 Steps to Riches. But I think it's getting deeper, because in the last 2 meetings I've had with this writers group, I mean, I was in a meeting just yesterday, and one of our publishers said, Jon, write those 3 things down. Those are the names of your next books. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's absolutely right. Some things that I needed to be aware of. The first one is called The 25th Hour, and how I've lived 3 lifetimes and I'm only 31 years old. Everyone says, Jon, stop saying yes to everything. And I'm like, what more can I say yes to? And then there's a couple other book titles that we had talked about, but there were a few ideas that we had inside of our notes, and that's pretty cool. And amongst all of that, Robin, we've got a few other things in the works, including as Champion Circle grows into the organization that we dreamt it to be, providing the accountability and getting individuals in action to achieve their goals and be champions in their lives. We've seen the opportunity to do a plethora. I want to use that word every single day of my life. A plethora of what I call lateral opportunities. We've created some social media content. We've created this podcast. I would go to say is that we've revamped, but relaunched and created this new podcast. You're a part of all this. We've created a retail store. And my favorite thing is in our executive meetings, we have serious topics to talk about, like finances and, very serious and, distinguished things. And Robin comes in and she says, I want everyone to see this beautiful fabric I made that's got the Champion Circle rings on it. And we are like, wow, this is exactly what we needed. Because Robin said it just a few minutes ago. She said, I'm excited to play more with people. And that's our philosophy. Our philosophy is networking associated with accountability and more play. Work hard, play hard. The principles work great. Recreational fun is one of the accelerators to life and business success. And I don't know if you have anything to add to that. I'm just trying to spark up maybe a few more ideas. We've got some really cool partnerships that have been associated with the Champion Circle, working in partnership with, and partnership is a relative term, you guys. We not legally bound, but we have agreements, and we're on a perpetual level of serving other communities and tribes, including the Habitude Warrior tribe. We are also in congruence with the Launching Leaders Revolution and Life App community, which is an amazing leadership community of people who strive to change their lives, to literally burn the what we call the financial matrix that the 99% of this world are stuck in. And with that, they have their financial fitness programs. And we've just got a bunch of other partnerships and perpetual relationships that are coming up.
We have more phone calls next week.
Yes,
we have more phone calls next week.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
More affiliations, more collaborations.
That's right. I actually had one thing I missed that I wanted you to talk about. And if you're open to sharing, but our friend, our mentor, and somebody who we really look up to, this individual's name is Paul, has a really cool program. He's doing some cool things. And if you feel comfortable, what are some of the things that we can share and feel really great about introducing the world to what Paul with the Augmendino Foundation is doing?
Oh my gosh, so much. So wow, I met Paul seriously just a couple months after I had met you. And so it's been a while that we've been friends, and I'm so grateful to be able to call him a friend because he's also a mentor, a huge mentor of mine right now. Habit Finder is one of the most amazing ways to look into the human mind and our habits of thought. Not physical, not attributes. There's no labels. All it is it measures your habits of thinking. So once you know your habit of thinking, then you can change it, right? Like, it's really hard to change if you don't see where the change needs to be. And everyone who watches this, if you want to take the Habit Finder test, it is easy to take. I mean, how long, John? 5 minutes, maybe, to take that, little quiz where you put in the sentences, right?
Yeah, it depends on how critical thinking you are, but it really should only take less than 5 minutes.
So, John, it took an hour. Jay, it took like 3 days. I just called him out. I love you, Jay. I love you. Anyone who knows him will totally know what I'm talking about. But so if you go to habitfinder.com/Robin Scott Inspires, you can take that quiz. And if you want to talk to me about it, I'll get an email and I can send it back and I can kind of tell you what it means. But what they have put together is this way to make the brain show all its cards without knowing he's showing you all the cards. So it is, he's gone again, which is totally okay. I can talk and talk and talk for hours. So Habit Finder, coming from the world's greatest salesman, those principles and scrolls from Augmendino are what all of their content is based on, and everything that they are teaching and all of that. And I am so excited to say that I will be a Habit Finder coach. And right now there are only 26 of us. So that feels absolutely incredible. And I feel very, very privileged and humbled to be a part of that group of people that are coaches. So you're a stinker, John. I love you. You're a stinker.
Do you see the difference? What changed with me?
I do. So now you're facing the other way because that's not the same. I gotcha. Are you flipping sides of your desk? What's going on here?
No, I keep pushing off my camera, running to the other side of my office and exchanging the picture behind me.
Yes, I do see the difference now.
Okay. I can see clearly now. The picture's different. Anyways, I 100% agree. And
we got
it's amazing. And yeah, what we do. Paul is amazing, you guys. Paul is always on Clubhouse, and he ceases to amaze me. Is that the right way to say that? He never ceases to amaze me. He never ceases to amaze me. And I'll tell a quick story about Paul, but Robin, you have so much to offer to this world. And it was like a no-brainer for me, but also it was like, holy cow, I need to snatch this lady up because she does have so many skills and the things and the ways she connects with people. She's out to serve. And you need people like Robin Scott in your life, and including the Habit Finder quiz. She is a certified Habit Finder analyst, coach, and mentor, and she can help you discover what those mean and where to go from there. And it's pretty cool. I'm excited for the results that I've received, and I'm excited for just all the relationships that we have. And look, guys, there's a few names in this world that you need to align yourself with if you want to find the truths behind success and progress. Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill's the first one. Next one is I'm tooting our own horn because it is our curriculum, but How to Win Friends and Influence People, or just Dale Carnegie, the Brian Tracy's of the world, the John Maxwell's of the world, the Zig Ziglar's of the world, but even the Augmendino Foundation and the Augmendino, if you just see that name, hear it or whatever, that's one you should start running towards because it is phenomenal. It'll deepen your knowledge and your experience and your fulfillment in life. life. And I'm a big believer in it. It's huge. One quick story about Paul is he's on Clubhouse a lot. And we're talking about Clubhouse, the app where it's all audio. And, whether you're watching this live or you are listening to the replay through our podcast channels, whether it's on iTunes, Apple Play, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever you get it from, Clubhouse, every Wednesday or Friday, Paul will get on, and every Wednesday,
disrupt your week.
Right? And disrupt your week. Yeah. And my favorite times that he's gotten on is when he's literally taking his 3 daughters on a daddy-daughter date.
Yeah.
And he does this. He'll just jump in. Fridays. Okay, that's Fridays. And
yeah, that's Fridays.
And he'll take his daughters on a daddy-daughter date. But as they're driving, I mean, this guy, he's literally living the regular life, doing the daddy thing, but he's taking advantage of the time to teach. And look, he hands the phone and interviews his daughters and asks them these profound, life-changing questions. And their answers will stun you, like paralyze you in a way that makes you think, oh my gosh, that hit so profound. That struck a nerve in my heart. And I finally felt something that I hadn't felt through all of the other mentors that I've been listening to and reaching and receiving. And his daughters do an excellent job of teaching the life lessons. And here's one of them, the youngest. I was one of the first ones on the call. I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna play along. Like, I just wanted the content to go very, very well. And that's kind of who I am, is I like to get in and get involved, but in a way that progresses the conversations, not expecting an answer that would change my life. And I said, look, daughters of Paul, would you please share with me your number one tip of advice to change your status or change your state of mind when you've been in a funk? And the youngest says, I got this one, Dad. And she's like yelling it from the backseat of the car as they're heading to Domino's Pizza or wherever they're headed. And she says, look, sir, you just need to play more. You need to have more fun. Do you have a wife? I said, yes, I do. And she says, good, go play with her. Like, get a board game out or something. Just have more fun. And, while I was sitting there just like laughing, I also thought to myself, how profound is that? How amazing is that? Oh gosh, we're almost at 40 minutes. This is hilarious. I didn't realize we're going to talk so long, but we are. But we're just taking advantage to share with people season 5, a Circle of Knowledge podcast. This is a bit of a rambling, but it's also just giving you all the insights to what's going on in our world. There's some laughter going on in the emojis from the live action here. So thank you everybody for participating and listening. I think some of them are our Champion Circle team members, so that's awesome too. I think it might be Lauren Cobb, Ty Cobb. Hey, what's up? Sam Diamond.
Love you so much.
Love all of you guys. Okay. And anyways, I think it's so cool and so profound that he does that. And anyways, we've just got some really cool people in our world. And I've said this before and I keep saying it again. I will never mention names, because who am I to call out people and to say what's going on in the world in regards to this aspect. But there are a lot of people making noise in the personal and professional development space. And a lot of them are just barking. I'd say the majority of them are, but there are very few who hold true to the truths and principles. And those are the ones who are making waves. And we hope that we're part of that, because we only follow the truths and the principles found from the greats, the ones who have passed and gone before us, the giants whose shoulders we now get to stand on. And I'm absolutely grateful for that. That's an amazing opportunity. And I'm going to look up some new adjectives, because I keep wanting to use awesome, amazing, and phenomenal. I need some new adjectives.
I'm a thesaurus queen. I will find you some new adjectives.
Let's practice like adding 3 or 4 new like describer awesome adjectives every week, and then we can just kind of intermittently add them to the podcast.
Yes,
another new feature to the Circle of Knowledge podcast. You get a profound plethora, that's the second time I've used that word, of variety of vocabulary to increase your knowledge. So there we go.
I use plethora all the time.
Yeah.
Sorry, I use plethora all the time, so I'm so stoked you do, because I'm like, oh, of course he loves that word. Sorry.
Would you say I have a plethora? Pepe. What do I forget the line. Three Amigos, everybody watch it. It's a classic. All right, wherever you're joining us from, all over the world, we thank you. We're grateful for you, and this has been an exciting time. We did not expect this to go this long, but we are grateful that we have the technology. We have a heart full of love and hope that we can share the principles of success with you as we're learning them as well. We are not the masters of them. We are the ones disseminating the information as we currently learn. I was taking notes on the two of the podcast episodes that we just recorded. And guys, I am like 3 pages deep in notes today, and it is phenomenal. So there we go. I can't think of anything else, but I don't want to give away all our eggs in one basket. And so I think now is a really great time to leave a couple cliffhangers, such as if you're locally here in Utah and listening to this podcast, we have in-person events where we get together. We use the mastermind methodologies to play, have fun, build deep relationships and connections, and to turn our challenges into the wins that make us the champions in our lives. And so we hope that you'll come and attend one of those. To get a hold of us, you can go to several websites. The first one at the moment that I will share is go to mychampcircle.com. That's mychampcircle.com. And the reason why I said currently is our other website, mychampioncircle.com, is under construction at the moment, releasing and coming up with some really cool new stuff that you'll be able to hear from in just a moment. And if you ever have any questions, or if you want to reach out to the host or the individuals who have been on this podcast before, you can reach me at john@amplifiedminds.com, in current transition to championcircle.com, as well as you can go to my website, which is jonkovachjr.com. And Robin, do you have a website? You have a website, right?
I currently do not, but I am robinscottinspires@gmail.com.
Okay, cool.
Robin with a Y.
That's
a
right.
Person, not the bird. Tweet. Sorry, everyone remembers if I have the tweet. So robinscottinspires@gmail.
I'm a social media guy, so when you say tweet, my mind immediately goes to Twitter, and I'm like,
okay, I'm gonna have
you
to learn
tweeted
Twitter
what?
from you.
Nah, Twitter. That's all right. I don't know. I don't know who's using Twitter these days, other than athletes and reporters. But
politicians
and politicians, and yeah, it's become kind of like the legal dissemination of quick knowledge, and a really great platform. But I don't spend nearly as much time on there. But Twitter has become a very, very interesting place. The stock in Twitter is going up. It has not fallen. It has not crashed. It is. Yeah, Twitter is always is going up, and some of our friends, local friends and mentors, have been bold enough to say that Twitter would be dead by 2022. Well, that's next year, and its stock is on the rise. So challenging that one. And I just wanted to say one more thing before we hop off. Robin, I greatly appreciate you, and I greatly appreciate the things that you're doing for this world. The people in our lives are amazing. And this is awesome. Our good friend Karen says she uses Twitter sometimes. So there you go. Twitter is alive and well. But I wanted to share how grateful I am to those who serve, because whenever I get in a funk, whether it's around finances, and I mentioned that I've been kind of sick and out of play for the last month and a half or two, and that's really set me back. That's put me in a bind. It's really created a lot of hardship in my life, my family, and doing things in my life. I'll be bold enough to say my bills, and even just taking care of things. We were in a car wreck. I got COVID several times, had bad reactions to the vaccine. All in all, to juggle a few kind of chaotic family vacations, but I'm just so grateful, okay, that I have the opportunity to take my God-given skill sets and talents and gifts, and to share those things with others, because I recognized and realized early on in my life that if I am selfish enough to withhold myself from the world, there's that many more people who will not be able to take on your gifts, talents, and strengths and use those to serve other people as well. It's an inception kind of like magnifying and what's the word I'm looking for? Exponential factor. There you go. Exponential factor. There, you like that? We're expanding our vocabulary today.
I love that one. Well, and I mean, Marianne Williamson, that quote always comes to mind. It's usually, I need to memorize it so I could just like say it off the top of my head, but it's so true. You know, as soon as we shine, as soon as we really are unapologetic for who we are, we allow everyone else to do the same. And the people that I'm involved with now, you are top of the list, is we're not better than anyone, and no one's better than us. We all are absolutely spectaculously amazing, and I love that. You know, so we're gonna shine. We're gonna shine as bright as we can, so everyone else can too.
I love it. Well, with that being said, we are so excited to continue the season 5 of the Circle of Knowledge podcast. Thank you, Robin, for joining me today. And yeah, we have some really cool things. So stick around, everybody. Follow us, give us a like, give us a share, leave us a review. Let us know what you want to hear, who you want to hear from, and so forth, and we'll make it happen. Or at least we'll try. And I also want to share with you guys how we finished this podcast. And something that we didn't mention, but that we'll get into in later episodes, is our theory on misfits and talking about the acronym that we've created and the mission and so forth. And so there's just some really cool things that I keep forgetting, that we've got so much going on that it's all positive and awesome. And but with that being said, this is Robin Scott and Jon Kovach Jr. signing off of the Circle of Knowledge podcast. We'll see you guys. Please go watch the next, or listen to the next episode. First episode of season 5 will be featuring the amazing Dee Wong, and she's going to talk about her story about how she recently became one of the 12 apostles and was hanging out with the Pope in Italy during COVID. Pretty cool. Amazing. So leaving that cliffhanger, go watch the next episode or listen to the next episode. And with that being said, everybody, we are signing out. We got to come up with a cooler way to say goodbye.